Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi is in Guinea-Bissau for the 50th anniversary of the country's independence.
Tunaomba waendelee hivyo hivyo ndio tupate zile ng'ombe zimebaki zaidi ya 400 na kitu.
And more than 100 cattle that was stolen in Igembe recovered by the police. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Grace Korea Kanjo. Now, as persistent rainfall continues to wreak havoc across the country, Mombasa residents have been displaced as their homes have been submerged. Kwabulo, Bamburi, Kiembeni, Kadzandani, Junda and Timbwani areas in Mombasa County have been affected greatly by widely circulated amateur videos circulating online vividly captures a section of the Nyali Bridge leading to a standstill in transport operations. The distressing scenes underline the severity of the situation, emphasizing the urgent need for effective intervention. Residents have attributed the situation to the poor drainage systems in Mombasa County.
Go down hapa ya majani. Inaweka majani go down ya Kalasinga. Maji yao yakinyesha pale ndani hawana drainage ya kupeleka maji. Kwa hivyo maji yakijaa wanakuja kwa ukuta, wanatoboa mashimo, wametoboa mashimo 3. Maji yote yanakuja kwa mwananchi. Maji yakuja kwa mwananchi ni maji mengi sana. Nyumba za watu zimeathirika karibu nyumba 10. Maji yameingia kwa manyumba.
Nashukuru choo yangu iko juu kidogo, lakini ingekuwa iko chini ingekuwa sasa imejaa maji. Tumetaabika sana kutokea maji yafunguliwa asubuhi, manake usiku kucha kumenyesha, kulikuwa hakuna maji yanaingia kwa nyumba. But the moment wamefungua maji pale kwa go down, maji yameanza kuingia kwa nyumba kwa kasi sana. Watu wengi tumeathirika ambao tuko area hii. Twaomba usaidizi.
And still on matters floods, now more than 300 homes at Lumish village in Lamu County have been marooned after the village was completely cut off following the ongoing flood disaster that has hit the country. Over 30 houses have been submerged, making it impossible for residents to access markets, shops and their houses. Women, children and the elderly, among them expectant mothers, have no place to sleep. Kenya Red Cross Society has already said that over 300 families have been affected, which are set to commence the relocation exercise. The victims are expected to receive relief food from the government.
Kwa shida mingi, kama unatoka mahali ya kupita hakuna, njia yote nafunga, mahali ya kukaa hakuna, ya juu yote ni chini, maji najaa, nyumba nabomoka. Mahali hata matoto kubikia chakula hakuna, ile moto yote hakuna, chakula kila kitu hakuna hapa. Hata kama unataka chakula unaenda paka bangani mahali ya kupita hakuna, ni shida. Matoto unakufa njaa.
Nyumba yetu yote inatoboka. Sisi haki ya Mungu iko shida nyingi, iko njaa, mguu yote inauma. Tafadhali nataka kusaidia.
Yote ni maji ambayo imesababisha watu akose kwenda hospitali, akose kwenda kununua vitu. Kwa hivyo tuko na shida mingi sana. Ambayo tunapata ili tabidi mpaka utembee mguu uende ununue duka kama kilo 1 ama kilo 2 hivi, ile ambayo unaweza kuchukua, na hatuna mahali ambayo tunaweza pita. Mahali ya kupita ndio shida sasa.
Sehemu hii kufikika kwake ni ngumu. Sisi kama shirika la Msalaba Mwekundu tumejaribu kwa siku ya pili leo ndio tumeweza kufanikiwa kufika hapa. Na imebidi tutumie Land Cruiser tuweze kushuka alafu tutumie boat kufika katika sehemu hii. Na tutakachofanya sisi kama shirika la Msalaba Mwekundu tumewasiliana na county government ya Lamu, na kufikia kesho ama Jumamosi tukiwa tumechelewa zaidi tuweze kufanya medical outreaches, kwa sababu tumepata mama mjamzito hapa ndani amejifungua na watoto wengine pia hawako katika hali nzuri ya kiafya.
Let's move on. And Prime Cabinet Secretary, who is also the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, is representing President William Ruto at the 50th anniversary for the independence of Guinea-Bissau. Mudavadi delivered Ruto's message acknowledging the great strides made by Guinea-Bissau in her indomitable pursuit for freedom, exemplifying the African spirit. According to Mudavadi, Africa's new frontier lies in empowering the people for a prosperous economically stable future. And student leaders drawn from universities in Kiambu County are now calling on the government to immediately release HELB funds as well as address the cost of living to save the education sector from total collapse. Speaking in Thika during the elections of their umbrella organization, Kiambu University Colleges Students Alumni Association, the student leaders led by the former President S.K. Kajwang decried the government's ineffectiveness in dealing with issues affecting the common mwananchi, and especially university students who are facing uncertainty over delays in disbursement of government capitation and HELB.
Vision of things that are emphasized.
The government discusses about elevating the mama mboga na watu wa boda boda kutoka chini hadi juu. As we want to discuss substantive matters of students who are sleeping hungry, who lack fee, and it is not fair for any proposal to increase fee and even the delayment in HELB disbursement, because it is really disturbing and perturbing our minds and spirits as the comrades of Kenya. So we are having this tendency where the Ministry of Education delays disbursement of HELB, and even we have seen in a different scenario that they are making proposals to increase fee. And I want to make it notable, and this point should be driven home by all the student leaders of Kenya, because it is only through education that a child of a peasant from a deep hole can become a doctor and equivalent of various professions that are offered in our institutions of our land.
We speak about the challenges that students are facing. For example, in the TVET institutions, Mr. President, we would like to urge you to give the comrades the capitation. You said to us that we will be receiving our capitations for those in the TVET institutions, the capitation that is supposed to cater for the education of the students. We plead to you that with your government that you may release the capitation that is not yet released to the students.
All right, now 2 foreigners have been arrested in explosives used for gold exploration with a street value of 9 million Kenya shillings seized along the border of Kenya and Tanzania. Migori County Police Commander Francis Nguli says the suspects were arrested and the explosives nabbed respectively following a tip-off by members of the public. Nguli said the suspects were transporting the explosives to an unknown destination when the police arrested them. He said the explosives were being sneaked into the country from Tanzania illegally, adding that the suspects had no required traveling documents that allow them to be in the country legally.
Kwa umri wa miaka 20 na kitu karibu 30, wakiwa wamebeba hii mzigo mnaona mbele yetu. Hapa kuna carton 25 ambazo kila carton imebeba zile tunaitanga vilipusi ambazo ni restricted explosive substances. Kilo 25 ukijumulisha itakuja kilo 625. Kwa ile street value utapata hizo zote tumejumulisha tukaona inaleta milioni 9 na 375. Tuko very much alert kuhakikisha kwamba Migori haitakuwa ni njia ya kupitisha zile vitu ambazo hazilingani na sheria zetu za nchi yetu. Hii vita ya watu ambao wanapitisha vitu bila ile kibali ya kupitisha kutoka nchi jirani, mnajua kibali ya vitu kama aina hizi mpaka ipatikane kutoka kwa Wizara ya Mining na Blue Economy, ambao washukiwa wako wanayo, pia hawakuwa na kibali ya kuingia kwa nchi yetu. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni makosa ambao kati ya yale tukimaliza uchunguzi wataweza kufikishwa kwa mahakama waweze kujibu hiyo maswali. Tutakaribiana na wao, wale ambao wanafunja sheria watakabiliwa na hiyo sheria tu ambao wanafunja. Kwa hivyo ni mzuri kwamba tujihadhari kabisa, tuhakikisha kwamba kitu chochote ambayo inapita kwa mpaka ikiingia kwa nchi yetu ni zile vitu ambazo zimekubaliwa na sheria, ambazo ziko na stakabadhi ambazo zinatakiwa kupitishwa.
Now, an audit report by the National Cohesion and Integration indicates that Marsabit is the most compliant county in the ethnic and diversity distribution of employment within its county public service, with the least compliant being Bomet County, which has, listened to this, 97.35% of its employees being from the county's dominant tribe. Data further indicates counties have over 184,000 employees, of which the Kalenjin ethnic tribe has the largest chunk of employees, statistics indicating that they represent 15.83% of the total employees. Further, the Commission has lauded the strides made by counties in employing women, who account for 56% of those employed. Garissa County is the only county that did not comply with the Commission's request to provide data.
Ladies and gentlemen, this report might not be very pleasing to you because 10 tribes have taken almost all the jobs that we have. Only 12.4% is left for over 36 tribes in all the county public service employment.
Nairobi County is 1.2 billion Kenya shillings to roll that. And as you can see, that's a significant amount of resource. There's about 1.2 billion just in one county per month. That is per month to pay 13,000 employees. So if there's no equity or inclusivity in our counties, that money, which is a lot, of course, can be a source of conflict, and by constitution, of course, is not being used properly.
It's not acceptable for governors and other county officials to contravene law with impunity. And I think that's important to emphasize, because if something is not done, then it means contravening the law with impunity. And it is therefore important that we call governors to be examples not only in their counties, because once they are in compliance and they live according to the Constitution and the law, then it means others, I think as Commissioner Sam Kona said, will even want to go to benchmark with you.
The Archbishop of the Anglican Church of Kenya, Jackson Ole Sapit, has urged leaders in the country to remain vigilant in their delivery of campaign pledges and maintain integrity in their leadership. He also emphasized that leaders should become mentors to the young generation. Speaking during the launch of The Iron Bishop, a book written by one of the prohosts of the Anglican Church of Kenya, Peter Njenga, church leaders have commended the book, saying that it will serve as a good guide to leaders as it highlights aspects of democracy in the country. Prohost Peter Njenga has urged Kenyans not to forget their history and impart the next generation in the right way.
The book we are about to launch is going to talk about what Bishop Peter represented when he was teaching. So we will learn from his teaching, because that book is part of his teachings. It is also talking about his conduct as a leader when he provided leadership. What is lacking in the world today are mentors. It is also said, in today's world, we have very many leaders, but very little leadership. Very many leaders, everybody calls themselves a leader, but too little leadership. Leaders who are mentors of others. Today we are celebrating the life of a hero leader.
And lastly, that our history and our culture, as far as I'm concerned, has been severely impaired. And as a country and a people, we must research and dig deep to be well informed and know where we have come from and where we are going, and choose what we bequeath the coming generations.
Now, as a way to boost peacemaking efforts in the otherwise troubled Wajir County, peace and cohesion stakeholders have begun rewarding individuals who have gone out of their ways to take up initiatives that have helped build peace among the residents. Here is Hashim Jamal with more.
In efforts to foster peace and unity in the otherwise troubled region, leaders who have made strides to unite the communities have been feted by stakeholders who came together to recognize efforts to push for peace and community development. One such leader is County Commissioner Karuko Ngumo.
At a personal level, again, I want to appreciate the recognition that the SIGNET Foundation has given to me as the County Commissioner Wajir, especially where the County Commissioner's office has been open to the youth of Wajir County, that the County Commissioner's office is open to the youth of Wajir County. I have interacted with so many. I'm trying to mentor a number of them. When I get opportunities to go for forums, especially to do with peace and security.
Another leader who was feted was Abdinur Hussein, who was acknowledged for his efforts in eradicating illicit brews and maintaining a clean environment.
Mine is to thank the CEO and the organization. Of course, this is to encourage us to do more. We've been working much because mine reads clearly. It's talking about the fight against illegal brews, and I'm happy with the little effort we have made. We've arrested over 20 people on this illicit brew in this town. I want to say that we have closed one very serious bar that used to spoil many of our youths.
Mrs. Bilkhesa was honored for her advocacy work, particularly in championing the rights of women, children and persons with disabilities, combating sexual and gender-based violence, and eradicating female genital mutilation.
I've been recognized for championing the rights of women, children, against sexual gender-based violence and female genital mutilation. This is a work that has been going on even way before I joined the Human Rights Commission, and it's something that's still ongoing. A lot has already been done and a lot needs to be done. Unfortunately, in the recent past, the cases of SGBV has risen in Wajir County from when after COVID-19 began. The stay-at-home program, when most of the school kids were staying at home, that's when we experienced the high cases of SGBV.
The stakeholders affirmed the organization's dedication to recognizing those making remarkable contributions to Wajir County. They have challenged other leaders to step up and assist the county, especially at a time when county is facing flood crisis.
Currently, we are in the municipality. And then we've also recognized the good work that they have been doing across this town. A lot of activities has happened, and then this work is done by multiple of people who are also working for the municipality. But at the end of the day, there is a team leader who assists on that.
Reporting for TV47 from Wajir County, I am Hashim Jamal.
Thank you, Hashim Jamal, for that. Let's move on. And a joint police operation from both Isiolo and Igembe North sub-counties in Meru County has recovered 141 herds of cattle that had been stolen from Igembe North and Igembe Central sub-counties. Speaking during the handing over exercise to the owners, Igembe North sub-county Deputy Police Commander Mark Bitok said the 141 recovered cattle were recovered in the neighboring county of Isiolo and are among the 400 herds of cattle stolen from Igembe North and Igembe Central sub-counties in Meru County.
Jambo la maana sana, tunaomba wananchi hapa waweze ya kwamba kutupaya habari mapema na tena wajitokeze, wasiuje wakasema security hawasaidii, na sisi tuko tayari kuwasaidia. Tunaomba waendelee hivyo ndio tupate zile ng'ombe zimebaki zaidi ya 400 na kitu, siokoto zote ndio turudishiwe mali yetu.
And the deaf in Embu County, through the Deaf Empowerment Society of Kenya, have started an engagement with stakeholders in the healthcare profession in a bid to address challenges they face while looking for health services. Speaking at a workshop in Embu, they observed that many are not comfortable when explaining issues on reproductive health to healthcare professionals through an interpreter. They are now calling for the health professionals to get sign language lessons to bridge the gap and ensure privacy, so as to make services inclusive and accessible for the deaf and other PWDs.
Good morning again. Good morning.
We've organized a workshop for the healthcare workers as a means of engaging different stakeholders who take part in SRHR services. And the reason for holding this workshop is so that we can take stock of the challenges the deaf people face in front of accessing healthcare services, especially SRHR services. Most of them face a myriad of challenges. For example, lack of interpreters in hospitals, which has created a lot of communication barriers between the deaf and the doctors, and most of the times many have been misdiagnosed because of this communication barrier.
So I want to tell you people to support the women, educate them on sexual and reproductive health rights, and also help them out. I've seen most of the deaf women in the villages or in the rural areas. When they get challenges, they can't ask for help from parents. When they are pregnant, they can't speak out to their parents. They feel embarrassed.
Indeed. Now, the West Pokot County government is working on modalities to develop a comprehensive master plan in the agriculture and livestock sector for food security in a bid to improve production and end decades of over-reliance on relief food and conflict. County Governor Simon Kachapin, who has outlined his plans, says that this will be done through modern technology and planting of short-seasoned crops. In the semi-arid region, Kachapin added that the agricultural and livestock sector, which forms the backbone of the region's economy, has experienced great revival through targeted investments, training programs, and access to modern farming techniques. This has increased food security and opened up avenues for income generation and economic prosperity for farming communities.
Kuendesha mambo ya biashara, mambo ya uchumi kwa jumla na kadhalika. Nafikiri wito wangu kwa wakulima wa West Pokot waweze kuelekea vile kilimo ya kisasa na teknolojia ya kisasa, na unaona kuna vyakula hasa ambaye inafanya kwa sehemu kame ambaye inawezafanya sana vizuri. Tumeonyesha mbegu ya kila aina ambaye inawezafanya vizuri sana kwa sehemu kubwa ya West Pokot. Kwa hivyo wito wangu ni wakulima wachukue jukumu, wapande mimea ambaye inafanya kwa haraka na inachukua muda mfupi, kwa sababu kwa njia hiyo ukuaji wa chakula kwa wingi inaweza patikana katika kaunti hii na nchi yetu, ile tunasema food security.
To the world of sports now, and Nairobi City Thunder basketball newly signed centre forward player Ariel Okal says he's excited to join the Kenya-based side after his achievement with Oman, Uganda and Burundian side Dynamo BS. Okal will be making his debut this evening as Nairobi City Thunder face Equity tonight at Nyayo Stadium.
This season I'm joining Nairobi City Thunder in season number 16. Feel good. I feel good. It's amazing. I played in Kenya, I think in 2018, 2019, and coming back to play at home is an amazing feeling. I don't know how it's going to be this time, but I know it's going to end well. On and off the court, I want to play with the best guys on the floor.